It's a conversation we've had many times now, the Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones fight. It's a bit different now, right? Because Jon's been tweeting a lot about the fact that he's told you his plans, he's ready to vacate the belt, and all the rest of it.
He said he's ready to vacate the belt?
He said he doesn't care if you strip him, he would vacate it.
Crazy. Yeah, I've been busy. I haven't been keeping up with the gossip. He comes back. He's either back today or came back yesterday or whenever he's in Thailand. So he's home. We'll be home tonight, Tuesday. We'll figure this out.
But if he doesn't fight Tom Aspinall and he does walk away, do you think he's ducked him?
Tom Aspinall's the guy. He's the guy. Listen, if the guy wants to retire and doesn't want to fight, nothing you do. I didn't want Habib to retire. I thought DC should have stayed in it longer. So it's none of my business. I'll do what I can to make the fight if we can. If he's talking that crazy shit. I didn't realize that.
To clarify, you said that Jon agreed to fight Tom, yes?
Jon agreed to fight Tom?
Is that what you just said there? Before, like on the last answer, you said...
Jon agreed to fight Tom, yes.
So but he hasn't signed a contract.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys have heard me for the last however long. I said, I guarantee you this fight's going to happen. This fight's going to happen. Fight's going to happen. You guys told me the crazy shit that was going on Instagram and all these other places. But yes, I've been saying Jon is going to fight Tom.
There were some rumors out there that you guys had offered him his fuck you money and he turned it down.
Unless you hear it come from here or we put out a press release, don't believe any of this bullshit. But yes, Jon agreed to fight Tom. Fact.
Finally speaking out, Dana White expressed his displeasure with Jon Jones' internet shenanigans. When questioned about the heavyweight upheaval, Dana didn't seem excited, ranging from cryptic tweets to Ngannou chatter.
It was kind of crazy how much interest Jon showed in the Francis Ngannou fight. Like, there was some tweets going back and forth. What would happen if he came to you and says, like, I'll fight, but I won't fight Aspinall, I would fight Ngannou? Would you even be interested in that or no?
I don't have Ngannou under contract, and Aspinall's the guy.
Right. If you were put in the position, would you maybe try to get Ngannou back under contract or no?
Probably not.
Although Jon was not specifically mentioned by Dana, it is clear that he is frustrated, particularly given that he blames the UFC for delays and asserts that everything is going to plan.
Saying that he's ducking Tom Aspinall and stuff like that. He said, I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans are. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York City. Honestly, I believe it's in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. And then he goes on to say, I've just been playing the role of the company man by doing nothing at all and holding all the position. And truthfully, it's been incredibly lucrative. I've made more money off of Tom being the interim champ than Tom has himself. It sucks to see the rest of the division get slowed down like this, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't pull the strings. Well, it does have everything to do with you, Jon. You are the champion and you're the guy that should fight, that should defend or vacate. Now don't worry, we're not going to go through all ground there and give you all the same points. But he continued tweeting. He was talking about Tom, saying Tom's basically not that special because he's got 3 losses on his record, 2 of which were before the UFC. And to be fair, that's a fair point, right? Not everyone goes through a career in mixed martial arts where they just dominate everybody. And that is what Jon Jones has done, apart from maybe, say, Dominic Reyes, his last fight at 205. Okay, a lot of people thought he lost, maybe against Thiago Santos as well. But still, he was getting a little bit tired and a little bit complacent at light heavyweight. No, not everyone can do that. But just because you lose 2 fights early in your career doesn't mean that you can't learn, improve, get better.
Jon's account of what happened differs from Dana's. He doesn't agree with Ngannou discussion, he doesn't know what Jon wants, and he isn't convinced by the justifications for avoiding Tom Aspinall.
I see quite a few people in here calling me a duck. I'm a duck. Call me a duck. Call me a chicken. Call me a goat. Call me a dog. I'm not in high school anymore, guys. A grown man out here chasing his dreams. It's funny that we really live in a world where being called a duck should affect me. Guys, come on.
I got people in the chat calling me a duck. Meanwhile, I'm living my absolute best life. I don't know if it's considered duck when you're living good. I don't think it works like that.
Dana is behaving as like there was never any talk of a potential Ngannou bout, while Jon is hyping it up. Fans are now questioning who is speaking the truth.
This is the only sport in the world you can have somebody hold your career back.
Yep. I've been almost a year inactive with no prospects of anything. Just be ready, and we'll just let you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of difficult, like mentally, to.
Oh yeah.
This is the fight against Jon Jones. Like, not the fight is another thing.
Yeah.
This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and. I'm trying my best. It's tough. As you said a minute ago, no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes apart from me.
Exactly. You're in office cooking.
I train all the time anyway. Just because I've not got a fight doesn't mean I don't train. Like, I honestly can see Jon's point of view. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's just about the title for me.
Yep.
I just want the title, that's it.
Yep.
Does nothing else really matters. So
you're like, let me do my thing. Let me fight.
I just want to fight.
And I think that's the respectful way to go about it. It's like, you don't care if it's Jon, and it's no disrespect to Jon, it's no disrespect to anybody out there. You're just trying to fight. Yep. I just want to fight.
Yep.
Dana has remained silent despite Tom Aspinall's constant threats of a fight. The outcome? Online games, conflicting signals, and the temporary champion remain unknown.
There's nowhere to go for Johnny. He either has to fight me or retire now. If he does retire, everyone knows that he will have been avoiding me. I want to fight. Absolutely, I want to fight. If that's against Jon Jones or not. I'm just waiting on a date, man. Dana White's come out this week and said that Jon Jones is happy to do it. I've been in the rooms with the UFC and they've told me it's happening. I'm not chasing Jon Jones. The reason I want to fight Jon Jones is because he's got the belt. #1 heavyweight walking around the planet Earth. But we need to find out who the guy is. If it's not Jon Jones, get out of the way. I'll fight someone else. Happy days.
The UFC is about one guy being the champion of each division. I defended the interim once already. It's almost unheard of. That it's unprecedented. I thought it was silly the first time, to be honest. The reason that I did it, the first time I fought Curtis Blades, it went down as a loss. I got injured. Worst moment of my career, one of the worst moments of my life. I wanted to redeem myself and get the legit victory against Curtis Blades because it was unfinished business. Like, that was hurting my ego, and I wanted to prove that I was better than Blades, which I did in the rematch, and I defended the interim. Something else, that particular fight was in Manchester, in my hometown. I wanted to fight in my hometown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again in front of a sold-out, brand new Co-op Live arena in Manchester, England. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that again. So for them two reasons, that's why I defended the interim. I'm not doing it again. Like, I've cleared out the rest of the division, undisputed, and that's it. I deserve a shot at being known as the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. It doesn't matter on the opponent, undisputed, mate.
Stupid. But I have no idea the reason why the UFC don't really want Tom to fight anybody else other than Jon Jones. And, you know, they're saying, stay tuned. That's the message they wanted Tom to give out to people. And we had the meeting with Hunter. And they're going to try and fix the fight with Jon Jones, but we're still in April now. Still waiting for this guy to say, I'll have a fight or I'll not have a fight. And I don't really understand that. He's a fighter who should be having fights. Why is he just still sat around not giving an answer as to whether he's going to fight or not? Tom's done all he can do. You know, he's fought in the middle of the night to defend an interim. He fought for an interim because the fight was on for him to do an interim and he couldn't turn it down. And he won that. What else can he do?
Despite everything, Tom is still prepared to fight, has won the championship, defeated Pavlovich, and is unbeaten at the professional level. He is now only waiting for the UFC to provide him a legitimate title chance.
Elite as a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights, they're good, they're very strong, they're powerful, but they're not as quick and as agile and as technical as Tom. Tom's the whole package. You know, he's like, there's a fighter called George St. Pierre, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. Tom's like a heavyweight George St. Pierre. He's got no weak areas. He's got absolute knockout power, super disciplined, super agile on the feet. He finishes everyone really, really quickly. However, he hasn't gone up against somebody like Jon Jones because, as I said, the competition in the heavyweight division isn't necessarily there on a technical level. Jon Jones is. And Jon Jones has fought way better competition than Tom. That's just a fact. But Jon's never fought anyone like Tom either. Jon has never fought anyone the size of Tom, and that can generate that kind of power. He had 2 heavyweight fights, one against Cyril Garner, who took him down really quick and choked him out, and then he went up against Stipe Miocic. He was really good, and he had a good little go, but he was 42 and he hadn't fought for a while, and he's getting on. Tom's 31, in the prime of his life, and I would be very surprised, and this sounds disrespectful, but I'd be very surprised if he got out the first round.
An idea. He was the one who delayed till Francis was out the fucking door. He could have fought Francis a long time ago. If he'd just taken the chance of going up the heavyweight earlier, we could have had him versus a prime Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez was 240. Jon Jones is 260, 265. And you're telling me Cain Velasquez was too big for him? What a load of shit. Stipe Miocic could have fought him in his prime, another one who was no bigger than Jon Jones. So when he's giving it the big and being like, oh, well, people always think someone's going to come and dethrone me. And yeah, I get the narrative. That was the way at light heavyweight. There was always that next guy coming up. But you ain't never fought an animal like Tom Aspinall, who is as quick on his feet, who has the speed that he does at 260 pounds, who has the heavy hands that he does. You have never been in there with a beast like that. It's just not happened. I'm not saying that means Aspinall wins, but for people to do the Tyson Fury thing of going, oh, well, he's always won, so therefore he always will win.
When you're an interim champion, they only make an interim champion when the champion cannot defend the belt. So for Jon Jones, he couldn't defend the belt because he tore his pec muscle. So the interim champion means he should be fighting the champion right off the bat. That's not the case with Jon Jones, right? Because Jon Jones is going to fight Stipe Miocic. So the interim champion is supposed to sit there and wait. But by law, in like the regulations, once Jon Jones steps in the cage, he is stripped of his interim champion because the champion has returned. There is no longer for an interim champion. What is the point of having an interim champion when the champion is ready to fight?
Combatants are halted because no one can get a clear response. Pairings remain frozen, and fans are witnessing the most thrilling period in heavyweight history slowly come to an end. Some claim Jon is just being wise and preserving his body by choosing the correct fight and not risking all against a hungry young lion like Aspinall.
But do I think he's scared to take the tough fights at this stage in his career? Absolutely.
Can you understand that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can.
You can empathize with that?
I respect it. But if you're going to ask me the straight up question, is Jon Jones afraid to fight me? The honest answer would be yes.
Well, is regardless of that and that fear, because clearly he's overcome it at times in the past. Is that fight fucking happening?
I cannot say or deny. No, right now we're actually waiting for news. We have had to do. I'm chasing it up. Like the UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I'm chasing it all the time. I want the fight really bad. You know what? It's not even... Like, I see people online saying, like, you know the thing that happened with Conor and Chandler?
Yeah.
People are like, don't be like Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not about the fighting Jon. It's about the UFC heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a version of the title, but I want to be the undisputed champion. That's all it is. It doesn't matter about Jon. I'm trying to be the undisputed heavyweight champion. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing one fight. If I can fight Jon and get the biggest scalp in MMA, absolutely, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? And it's a great time for me because he is slowing down a little bit and I've not even reached my prime yet.
Others think he's deliberately avoiding the one individual who might really expose him since he never makes a mistake. The mobility, timing, and perfection of Tom Aspinall's style make it the most difficult test Jon Jones has faced in a decade. It would be a nightmarish fight for any aged champion.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
of
just
course,
won
just
the
won.
interim title. He's phenomenal. And he is, again, the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see like he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
Jon was shitting all over Aspinall. saying that
I think
he was
that's a
lucky.
bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on
well.
him. Unless John avoided him, unless John used his wrestling to avoid exchanges, you know what that's all about.
Correct. It's called the Shop Shutdown.
The Shop Shutdown.
They sell a 7-part
They did with
series on
Cyborg.
it. Yes. The Stipe fight was just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak out.
Very fast. Very fast for a
God,
heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah,
And-
we felt the same way about Cyril Gane.
Yeah,
But Cyril Gane
is-
doesn't have wrestling, doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground. Very legit on the ground.
So legit
dad-
that his dad owned a jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him. He looks so fast. He looks, you're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger Kane.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
It's a bit of a problem for him, right? Because he has not been tested in that way.
However, it's clear that the timings, the tales, and the remarks from both sides don't match up, regardless of whether you think Jon is avoiding the battle or not. Jon says one thing, Dana says another, and Tom claims he's ready, but the fight hasn't happened yet. With the whole world watching, will Jon Jones stand up for his championship or give up and let the division to fall apart? Introduction 10. Time is running out, fans are speaking, and the drama is only getting hotter. Will the UFC intervene and push the issue or continue to preserve their golden goose? Most importantly, will Tom Aspinall ever receive the opportunity he already earned?